It's Dragon Ball time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Dragon Ball Kai HQDX Piccolo version 2 from Banpresto also. And as you can tell, I don't have a box. This is an old figure I recently crammed out and I was like, damn, I really like the look of it. So, let's have a review. So this to me personally was when Banpresto was at its best. And I'm not saying they're bad now, but I don't really enjoy that product as much anymore. Now he stands at about almost 20 centimeters to the top of his head. And that means we're going up to, if my ruler would stop bending, almost 8 inches tall. Let me see, it looks different on the camera. I look at it. 7.9, 8 inches. Overall look and detail. And first things first, yes, you cannot remove this. You cannot remove the head. The hat? You can remove the head, but not the thing he has on his head. The hat. Anyway, I got a little bit confused there myself. Yeah, he has that on permanently. You can take his entire head off, but you don't get an alternate head piece to replace that. That was with Piccolo version 1 from what I can tell, which I don't own, so can't give you the full antennas and whatnot. Let me move the tripod overall while I'm rambling. I think this is the same position. I screwed this up. Anyway, look at detail of the figure. I think the mold is fantastic, and that's really something that strikes me as so cartoon-like. Well, cartoon. Oh my, anime. That's the biggest sin I've ever done in an entire video. But he has the anime accurate look. He has the more rounded eyes. He has the lines on his eyes, which are really thick and black laid on. Looks like he needs some sleep. Well, the mechanics don't sleep, or do they? Let me take him out of the base so I can move him around freely, show you all the detail. In his ears, spiky ears, also has some shading on there. Speaking of which, shading. This was like a budget figure back in the day, like for, I don't know, 20 bucks or whatnot. For that, you're getting a lot, and they sound like an old man when I say it, but yeah, back then there was more quality. Again, I think Banpresto still does some good stuff, but it's a little bit more expensive and it's a little less good. You have a crap ton of wrinkles in his outfit. It looks so good, it looks nice, so much detail that went into this. Also, has a little bit of shading, I feel like, maybe in the wrinkles. It's kind of hard to tell with the lighting reflecting off of it. It is a little bit more shiny plastic, and I guess that's like the thing with Banpresto. It is still sturdy plastic, but it might look a little bit weird, especially under the lighting. Wow, I can't talk today. And we have a rather thick line on his muscle work. A little bit off-putting. Could have done that a little bit smaller. Speaking of muscle work, yeah, you have all the muscle work in his arms. With the red line, kinda has. It's clean for the most part. There are some small slips here and there, which I don't really hate on. Again, with the mold, you got all lines going down there. Has some, I think, dry brushing. It has some shading in there to really accentuate the phenomenal mold. And that's what I'm always saying. You gotta put in shading, it looks so much better. Imagine this had no shading. It would still be a good mold, but yeah, shading on the pink parts. The pink parts of his arms. It's a very good description, I know, but that one has a little bit of random shading there. There's some spots here and there. It looks just kind of dirty. I'm not really a big fan of it. Just like I'm saying, because it's random. Then there is more on his fists. He has the painted fingernails on both sides, and it's even like a little bit too thick on this side. Looks like I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, belt, more wrinkles in it, more shading that makes it look darker, like black lines that really bring the mold out to shine, and more of that on the legs. And once again, I'm thinking, I'm rotating him around, but I do believe there are some spots that are darker than others, and it's not just because of the lighting, but because they actually put some work in it, and not just make some plastic. And I was like, yeah, there we go, that's a job well done. Let's see, we have more detail on his ankles and the shoes. As far as I can tell, there's not really any shading on there. Maybe a little bit in the wrinkles, but I can't really tell. Also, there's some white spot on there. And he has the pegs on his feet, which to me personally was one of the biggest problems I had with the line. Because it's annoying. You have the giant base, which they all had the same. For Piccolo it makes kind of sense, but I'm probably going to review more of these because I have more of these, more HQDX figures. And yeah, the thing is, Piccolo makes sense, but I have a little Gohan. I have a small Gohan with the exact same base. So, and you can't display him without the base because the pegs are under the feet, unless you want to cut the pegs off, but then you ruin the figure. And now looking at him again, yeah, there's definitely some shading in there. I was looking through the camera and the camera lens and not using my own eyes. Now, time for some magic. Oh, now he has the cape on. Guess you didn't see that one coming, except I put it on before I even started reviewing the figure, so you already knew. Anyway, he has his cape, and to put this on is very simple. You just take the hat off, and it just rests on the shoulder. It's nicely molded. Does wiggle around a little bit, but this, I mean, it's fully on there. Will not fall off, really, unless your head is loose. And it looks great. Just like the rest of it, there's some, I think, like blue tones going down over here. And then you got the darker black, almost too dark in the collar, and wrinkles. Wrinkles, wrinkles, wrinkles everywhere. I think it's good. Just for a figure itself, you could even say, well, you say it's anime or manga accurate, but you shouldn't have that many wrinkles. I don't really care, because it's a figure, and figures always look better when there's more detail to go around. So in that regard, I'm a big fan of it. And that's really it. I guess that's all I can say about it. Let me put them back on the spinny thing to finish off this review, and basically, yeah, I mean, I've had this guy for a long time, and I think it's great. Excuse me for like the camera changes in mid video, but I'm just kind of trying out some new stuff. See if you're annoyed by that, let me know in the comments. If you want some more cuts, I just kind of want to keep it down on the cuts for this one. So anyway, final thoughts of this figure. The mold is absolutely fantastic. The paint job is great. It's a little bit too dark in some parts for my personal taste, but that's not even a huge deal. I could be nitpicking and say they could have done a separate head where you got the antennas, but once again, this is version 2. Version 1 had exactly that. Version 1, though, didn't have a cape, and I do not have version 1. If you're asking me right now to review it, I don't have it, so I can't do that. And finally, the only thing that's kind of meh is the pose. It's not really the most dynamic pose in the world. He's just powering up or whatever. It's not a bad pose though. I mean, it's Dragon Ball. They're always powering up. They're always standing around like that. But I mean, overall, that was kind of thing with the HQDX line. They have a lot of that. They have a lot of powering up. But regardless of that, I still love this figure, and I would recommend this figure if you can find it at a reasonable price. I would definitely not pay a lot more than 50 bucks, and then 50 bucks is already pretty high. So I see a lot of people on eBay asking like 100 or something for this one box. Not really worth it unless you're a huge fan of Piccolo. Figure's still cool, but also stood the test of time though. I gotta add that, because I had this guy standing around for a long time and he still looks pretty fresh. So also give him that. Anyway, that's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Piccolo wants. Maybe a different hat. Where's my antennas at?